Namaskar. Today, a Friday, the first Friday of the month. So, as per our devotees, they are organizing this. So we used to go to the library in the Naperville. So Vedanta Study Circle of Naperville, they organize. So for a few months, I am doing from my office itself, online class, the Bhagavad Gita. Let us begin. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadeshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsacharnuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagat Gurum. Friends, the Jagat Guru, the master, the teacher of the whole world. Who? Krishna. And who is this Krishna? He is in a particular human form, that supreme being who has created this universe. So at the end we will again chant about that supreme being. It is not having any form, it is everywhere, all pervading, all powerful. But at the same time, because it is all powerful, it can take any form too. So it is taking the human form and coming down and living with us and teaching us how to realize God, because that is the ultimate source. So why we are suffering? Because we are not understanding the source, the creator, the God, our original, the identity. When we are not understanding our original identity, what is happening? We are identifying with something which we are actually not. So that is the problem. Sometimes when famous cinema artist, the people like him, his way of talking, way of moving. So sometimes young people mesmerized by that, and they will be copying. So they will have the hairstyle of the same person, and then they will be wearing the clothes in the same fashion. They will be walking in that way. And the result, all people are laughing at them. They are not getting any respect. Rather, they are being ridiculed. Why? It is not his original thing. But the same thing the original actor or actress, when they are doing, people are appreciating. And when we are copying, identifying with something which I am not, result is misery, suffering, insult. So that is the reason, the same way, if we look at the religious life, I am suffering. I am feeling that I am in a miserable condition. Why? Because I am identifying wrongly with those things which I am not. I am identifying with my body. I am identifying with my mind. I am identifying with my ego that I am this, and I am going to fight, I am going to conquer, I am going to kill, I am going to do this and that. All this identification, ultimately what happens? Suffering. The suffering is the ultimate. This suffering, how we can overcome that is the reason here in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the Vishwarupa, the all over the God. Everything is that God. The Supreme Being is everything. That being demonstrated over here. And Arjuna is also learning. And along with Arjuna, all thousands of years, all the people who are thinking the why we are suffering, they are getting the hint from here. Oh, this is the reason. I was wrongly identified myself. So we have already started up to 25th verse in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Let us begin from the 26th. And the 26th it says, Ami chatvam dhritarashtrasya putraha sarve sahaibab nipala sangaihi Bhishma Drona Sutaputrastathaso Swahasmadiyai Api Yodamukhaihi Amichatvam Dhritarashtrasya Putraha. It says that all the sons of the Dhritarashtra and also Sarva Sahi Nipala Sangaihi and the host of the kings of the earth, and along with that the great personalities like the Bhishma, Drona, Dritaputra and Stathasho Sahasmadiyai Api Yodamukhai. The Bhishma, Drona, all they are going towards you. And who is this Sutaputra? Karna. Those who have read the Mahabharata, you know the story. Though he was the son of Kunti, but that is the story it goes. The Kunti abandoned him for some reason, and he was raised by a person who was of a low caste, so Sutaputra. So people knew him in that way. So here it is mentioning Sutaputra. So that means Bhishma, and that way, if I don't consider him as a great person, Karna, all are going to die. And where? Into the mouth of the God. Because the God is this time taking in everything. And it says, Bakranite taramana bishanti Dramsta karalani bhayanakani Kechid bilagna dashanantareshu samdrishyante churnitai uttamangaihi. Here the description is terrible. The description, it goes in such a way, the Lord is taking in everything. They are entering hurriedly into your mouth. When the death comes, it goes in this way. All people are going towards death and they are running for it, competing to die. Why? Tremendous ego. I am a hero. I am going to kill others, but not knowing that they are going to be killed. Even the great personalities like Bhishma, Drona, because they were the teachers, even then they could not understand that they are going to die, and all are going towards death. And that is, and who is killing them? The God himself. Why? Because that is the time he considered, he thought their role is over, so he is taking them back. This point we will come at afterwards. It needs little elaboration also to understanding. Is God bad because he is killing? We will come to that. And it describes in this way, and entering hurriedly into your mouth, terrible with the tusk and fearful to look at. Where they are entering? Bakranite, taramana abhishanti, taramana, hurriedly they are going. Dramsta karalani bhayanakani, the terrible looking you. The Krishna was so beautiful. But the same Krishna now at this moment, Arjuna is looking at, and also Sanjaya, he could also see that form of the Krishna, Bhayanakani. Kechid biglagna dashanantareshu sandrishyante churnite uttamangaihi. And some are found sticking in the gaps between the teeth, with their heads crashed to powder. The heads, so just close your eyes and try to imagine a huge face, and hundreds and thousands of the horses, the human being, and everything is entering into that, and they are being crushed by the teeth of that huge form of God. Why this form? Ma Jashoda also saw the Vishwarupa. At that time, the Krishna, the same Krishna, he was a baby Krishna. He was just crawling, and as the little children they do, out of curiosity, they were taking as maybe something, whatever there on the ground, taking and putting in the mouth. Because the children, they can understand everything. They try to understand everything through the taste. That was the time. They can't understand properly the sound, can't see things also properly. So touch and the taste, these are the two indriyas, the senses are very active in the children. So child is taking that, tasting, and that is normal. And being a baby, the Lord, the God, in the Krishna form, he was also doing that. The mother Yashoda was worried. Oh, my son has taken something. So she asked the child to open the mouth, and the child opened the mouth, and what the mother saw? The child, the baby Krishna, the Supreme God in that form, wanted to teach his mother, whom he took, accepted as mother, that I am the Supreme God, don't worry about me. And mother saw that everything, the whole universe is inside that mouth, the small little mouth. Yashoda also saw, but not the terrible form. Here the same God in the form of the destruction, the Kala, is the time. So its form is completely different. And Arjuna is so powerful, so heroic, so courageous. He is so afraid. Arjuna is also very much afraid. Now, it's giving that description, how it is going. Yatha nadinam bahabambhu begaha samudrameva bimukha drabanti tatha tabami naraloka vira vishanti bakrani abhijjalanti. The same way as the rivers they rush towards the ocean, the same way all these people, they're also rushing towards you. Your fiercely flaming mouth, inside the mouth it is the fire, and they're all jumping into it. And why? Because they're compelled. In a very rich people, what do? They will be always having the consultation of so many doctors, the best doctors of the world. They should attend them, maybe for a few days. But when the time comes, even all the doctors of the world, all the medical knowledge, nothing can save that person. And that is called Kala, the time, and that is the God. When the God says you have to come back, you have to. So that is the power. Some people, they deny, though I don't believe God. And they think this is all the system going on. And they try to explain it in different scientific ways. But the truth is this: time is God. The Kala is God. Here that way it is explaining, Yatha nadinam bahabambu begaha. Ambu means the water. Bega, speedily, is all going so fast towards where? Ocean. And to emptying that. Then the water of the river is going and mixing with the ocean. So that is the way it is going. Tatha tabami naraloka bira. Naraloka bira, the heroes of this world, they are also going towards you and emptying themselves, they're dying over there. So this is an example they are giving, how the people are going into the mouth of that great Lord. And one example. And again, he's giving a second example. Yatha pradiptam jalanam patanga bishanti nashaya samriddha begaha tathaiva nashaya bishanti lokan tabapi bakrani samriddha begaha. Bega, with a haste, and they are as if running towards the death, but they are not understanding it. Arjuna now seeing the whole thing, and sometimes we say why they are dying, why this, but actually this is all going on, a system is going on. No one can explain why, but the system goes on in this way. Now it is giving the example, Yatha pradiptam jalanam patanga. As the moth rush headlong into the blazing fire for destruction. Into the fire it goes and it just burns over there. Why? Attraction. What is that attraction? That is Maya. And here the people, they are also going towards that, towards death. Why? Because ego. And what is the ego? That is Maya, the illusion. I am thinking that I am a great person. I am thinking that I am a heroic person. I am thinking that I am going to kill and nobody will be able to kill me. And all people are going to like that. And that is the way they are destroying themselves. And that is also Maya. And the Patanga, they are also the moths. They are looking at the fire and thinking, oh, that is a beautiful thing, I must go and enjoy. And the result, they are dying over there. So that they are moving so fast to that. As moths rush headlong into the blazing fire for destruction, so do these creatures hurriedly speed into your mouth for their destruction. So here this way they are giving the wonderful examples. Leli hase grasamana samantat lokan samugran badanai jaladvihi tejo vira purja jagat samagram bhashastabogra pratapanti Vishnu. Here the Vishnu, the word, the God, now he is mentioning as the Vishnu. Who is this Vishnu? Vishnu means all pervading, one who is everywhere. That is Vishnu. In the Hinduism, they believe that God is without form. Why? Because God is everywhere. Anything that is everywhere, anything that is consciousness cannot have the form. Everywhere at the same time, how can it have the form? So Hindu, though they are having hundreds and thousands of different the gods and goddesses of different forms, different names. But the Hindu, they know that God has no form. God is all pervading. God is consciousness. It cannot have the form. But at the same time, for our sake, we cannot imagine that God is everywhere. And that is the reason we think that God is like this. And that gives us, that is helping us to concentrate, to understand. So it is a step by step we go towards that supreme knowledge that God is all pervading. And in reality, I am that. So in the Hinduism, they are teaching, Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman everywhere, the consciousness. Tat Tvam Ashi. You are also the same. That is the highest teaching in the Hinduism. And the same Hinduism also teaching, you must love God, develop devotion for God. You must practice meditation, concentration. Your devotion to God should take you towards God and living behind this world. So this is way they slowly they train up the mind. Then ultimately that particular student can understand, I am that, I am God. So this is the step. Here they say that everything is going to die because God wants now to destroy His creation. You cannot stop it. Why God wants that? No answer. It's His will. He created and now He wants to withdraw it. There is no question, there is no answer. So here it says in this way, Leli hase grasamana samantat lokan samagran badanai jaladvi tejo virapurya yagat samagram bhashasta bugra pratapanti Vishnu. Pratapanti Vishnu, and this Vishnu, the all-pervading, but in a form, so we are thinking that name, and if a form is there, you have to give a name. So they have given the name. The name is the Vishnu, and the Hindus, they always give a meaningful name. Whenever they give the name, they must be having a meaning, and that meaning is very, very. If you try to understand all the names of the Indians, if you go and search, the meaning goes back to God. Somewhere or other, it goes back to God. Any name that you take up, it is connected with that God. And sometimes some people in the modern way, they will say some two thing, just sweet to listen, that is different. But when they are giving the name, that will be always, the meaning will be the different names of the God connected with God or divinity. It says the devouring all the worlds on every side with your flaming mouth. You lick your lips, your fiery rays filling the whole world with radiance, a burning, O Vishnu. Tejo virapurja jagat samagram. Jagat, this world is full of fire, completely devastating fire. Bhashasta ugra pratapanti Vishnu. So it says that Vishnu is going on as if it's leaking, is tasting, enjoying. The creation God created out of His own. Now the same God is taking it back. That's why sometimes in the Upanishad they will say how God has created this universe out of His own. Then as an example they will say, like the spiders, they are creating their net from their own saliva, creating the net, living on the net, and then sometimes it can take back the net within itself. The same way the God has created this universe out of Himself. He just thought, so it was created. and he gave the life into it. Tad srishtva tadeva anupravishat. He created, then entered into it. Who? The God. And what is that God? Consciousness. How he entered into the creation? As a reflection. That is the explanation the philosophers, they say. As a reflection, he entered into that. And because it is the consciousness, so all we are, thinking that I am living, I am talking, I am moving, everything that we do because of the consciousness. When that consciousness leaves this particular body, then it is considered as death. The death is nothing but that consciousness absent. Otherwise, whole body is there. All the limbs are there. But except one thing, the consciousness. Is it original? No, it is the reflection. Sometimes you will find that some of the glasses, it is glittering as if it is, and so much so you can't look at it. Because the sun ray is reflecting and you are looking to that from particular angle, and it is so much light of the sun. It is not sun. There is no original light. But you think that particular piece of glass is emanating the light. You think in that way. We think in that way. The same way, what is that consciousness? The reflecting consciousness from the God. And if we understand that, and that is called Vedanta, and there is no problem then. We are not afraid of the death, and we are not jubilant because of the birth. That is the scriptural teaching. The scripture teaches us that way. Pratapanti Vishnu, and it goes in there. So next, in the 31 verse it says, Akhya himeko bhavanugra rupa namastute deva bara prasida vigyatamichhami bhavantamadhyam nahi prajanami tava pravirtim. Now Arjuna is telling, tell me, who are you? Arjuna is talking with the Krishna. And then the Krishna said that everything I have made, in even this war that you are taking, thinking that you are going to fight, is all my planning. But Arjuna was thinking, how that is possible? Krishna is with me. Then he was in two minds. Sometimes he was believing, sometimes not. To be completely confirmed, he said, Krishna, I believe you, but can you please show me that particular form? That you are the creator, you are the destroyer, can you? Because Krishna was very fond of Arjuna, he liked Arjuna very much, and through Arjuna he wanted to teach us also. If Krishna never showed his Vishwarupa, then many of us would have doubted him. Oh, that is not possible. He said that he did it. Where is the... Now that is the reason he is showing it. And when he is showing is the form where the destruction, then Arjuna, the so and a courageous man, also became very much afraid. And he could not recognize at all that that same Krishna was so good looking and so mild. How can that Krishna become so fearful? The fire is coming out from the mouth, and he is eating all animals and human being and everything, and they are just going and entering into that huge mouth. He is crashing them, leaking them. Is it possible? Krishna doing like that? It is impossible even to imagine. It is almost impossible to draw the picture. So that the Kala Sarupa, Akhya hi meko bhavana ugra rupa. Can you please tell me, who are you? And so fearful. You're fierce in the form. Then he said, I bow down to you, O God of the Supreme, have mercy. Arjuna is afraid. So that sometimes we say, Yatte Dakshinamukam Tatte Pashyami. The God has two forms. Is benign, is very good. At the same time, the same God is also doing the destruction. So the devotee is telling, oh God, when you are creating, when you are benign, when you are in the very good form, that particular form, please show me. The other form, I won't be able to accept. Swami Vivekananda is one of the poem he has written about the Mother Kali. Because the people, particularly a group of people, they used to criticize Goddess Kali. And they used to think the Goddess Kali, she's a terrible goddess. She's killing people, destroying the people, and she's not wearing any clothes. What type of goddess is this? Not understanding this form of God. God is the creator. God is the sustainer. And again, the God is also taking back its creation. Hindus, they understood it. The true devotee will love God at the time of good, at the time of bad too. When the God is destroying, that is also he will see, the devotee will see that in that is the God's action is there. You'll never criticize. Why the God is taking back its own creation. And God is creating again afterwards, maybe. Who am I to appreciate or criticize? This is the teaching in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita that we learn. Who am I to appreciate or to criticize God because of his creation or destruction form? Very calm and charming, the beautiful form of God attracts the devotees. But at the same time, his terrible form, even that terrifies some people. But the qualified devotee is he who accepts sublime and the terrific aspect of God with equal devotion and absorption. So that is why the goddess Kali, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in this modern age, he worshipped goddess Kali. People were criticizing. But he said, whom you call Brahman, I call Mother Kali. That is the Shakti, that is the power. With same power creating and same power destroying. We use the fire to cook our food. And that same fire can destroy, can burn even the whole city, even the whole country. So the two forms of the same fire, we have to understand that. It says in this way, the same Ishvara. Friends, we have to understand these two different forms of God. He is the creator, but he is the sustainer. Only these two forms we appreciate, and when he gives the call, come back to me, why we are afraid? Why we should say the no about the death? No, not that is not me. You better take somebody else, but I am not going to die. No, that is not. Oh God, if you give me the call, and if you ask me to die, no problem for me. So this is the way we should have to understand. Here, Akkahi meko bhavan ugra rupa. Please tell me, who are you? Arjuna is getting confused about that. Same God in this form, and Arjuna is nothing but our representative of the ordinary human being. We are confused to see the same God killing, and some of the people, they will be always thinking, because of the emotional people, oh no, we should not do this, we should not do that. Who are you to think in that way? As the creation goes on in this form, We do not know how it is all happening. So this Namastute Deva Bara Prasida. Deva Bara means Deva Bara. Bara means highest. So Devanam Pradhana. Deva Bara Prasida. Please have mercy on me. Again it says the Adya. Vigyatum Ichchami Bhavantam Adyam. I like to know you. I like to have complete knowledge about you. Vigyatum Ichchami. Gyatum, Vigyatum. Gyatum means in Sanskrit, I like to know. Vigyatum, I like to know you spatially, in details, the perfectly. Vigyatum, Vigyana, Bhavantam, to you. Bhava, you, Bhavantam, Adyam. The God has been addressed as the Adya. What is that Adi? Adya means in the beginning. So you were in the beginning. So that's why the Arjuna is telling, I like to know because you are the beginning. Before you there was nothing. So you will be able to tell me perfectly in the best way what is this and who are you, why you are doing. So that is called Adya. See, then when he is asking who are you, the Lord said, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kalashmi Loka Shayakrit Prabiddho Lokan Samahart Iha Pravrittaha Rite Pitvana Bhavishyanti Sarve Yeva Sthita Prattanikeshu Yodha Tasmat Tamuttishta Yasholabhasya Jitva Shatrun Bhungsharajyam Samriddham Mayaivaite Nihata Purvameva Nimitta Matram Bhava Sabhya Sachin. These two, verse 32 and 33, here the God is telling, I am the Kalashmi Loka Shayakrit Prabiddha. At this moment, I am the mighty world-destroying time. This moment, mighty world-destroying time. Now engaged in destroying the whole world. Then he said, without you, the warriors over here, the enemies, all will die. They will not live. So that is the reason he says that don't think that you are doing it. In the Vedanta, in the Hindu scripture, always they teach, you must know that you are not doing actually anything. Be humble. Can I do all this? Who has given me intellect? A scientist is discovering something and becoming very famous, and he is thinking, I did it. Mathematician solving some very difficult problem, thinking, I am doing it. A politician, he is thinking, I am doing it. A hero, he is thinking, I am doing it. But why you? Why not somebody else? Just think in this way. Why me, God? And when suffering is coming, this is the sentence almost everyone will say. Why me, God? So this is the way we have to understand. God wanted me to be successful. I am becoming successful. God now wants me to be failure. Okay. I am not successful this time. Everything is God that he is doing. So a devotee, a true devotee, will think in this way and his mind will be tranquil. Ultimately what? The failure or success? What is the suffering or joy, happiness? Nothing but the same thing. Nothing is permanent. I think that it is happening. Like in in our dream, suppose I am thinking that I am drowning, I can't swim, I am going to die. The terrible feeling of death, the fear of death, I am gasping. Then after some time when I get up, oh no, I am sitting on my bed, just a dream. Just like that. The same way, the whole world, which is all existence, is the same thing. The Nwara Brahman, the people who have realized God, this is the way they think. And that's why they are always contained. Santosha. The God is telling to Arjuna, so I am everything you are asking me. Who am I? I am that Supreme God, and now I am doing everything. Arjuna akka hi meko bhavanugra rupa. Please tell me, who are you? The terrible form. The Krishna that I knew, where he is now? The same Krishna, same God, the Supreme Lord, he is telling, Kalusmi loka shayakit prabidho. At this moment, I am destroying my own creation. Not the whole, but those who are hostile, those who are not listening to me, those who are trying to disturb the creation. Now I am destroying them. Lokan samahartu. So this is the way. Then in the 33rd verse he says, Tasmat tvam uttishta yasho lavasya. So therefore, O Arjuna, arise, and then you go and fight, because destruction is I am doing. Whether you are there or not, these people are going to die. The time is fixed. This is their time to die. They will die. You need not to bother about that. But as a hero, you go and fight, and as if you are killing them. In every arrow of yours, my wish will go and they are killed. It's not your arrow that is killing them. It is I wish, I want that they should be dead and they are dying. So this is the way the God is telling. But because you are doing it, the people will say Arjuna is a great hero. Alone he was fighting with so many great people and killed them and got all the success. So you will be praised in the whole world as a hero. But it is my wish. Suppose you are not there, somebody else will do. So think yourself blessed to get all the success because I am doing it. Friends, this is the teaching by which, from where we should learn to be humble. And moment we become humble, all the successes that we get, we will get that. And people, they will also appreciate us. The society will also recognize us. But at the same time, we won't be bound by those karma. But if we think that we are doing and forget the God, then all the problem comes. You know that the Upanishad, it gives a beautiful story that there was the fight between the Devas and the Asuras, and most of the time Devas are vanquished, Devas are defeated. They will go to the Shiva or to Vishnu or to Ma Kali, Durga. But this time they fought and they got the success, and they were boastfully sitting and enjoying that. The Indra was sitting on his throne and he was telling, hey, what have you done in there? Then the Agni, the Vayu and all the gods, and they were boastfully telling, you know what I did? Then suddenly they found that in the door, somebody is standing over there and his body is glittering. Who is that? The Indra wanted to know. Indra, the king of all gods. So the first, the fire, Agni, he went. Hey, who are you? That I will give you. I will answer to your question afterwards. But tell me, who are you? Then the Agni, he said, oh, you don't know me? This is an insult to me. Everyone knows that I am the fire. I burn everything. Then that Yaksha, in between God and human being, a one creature, the Yaksha, he said, is it? Can you please burn this straw? Only a single straw he kept and said, can you please show me how you burn this straw? Naturally, the fire, he told, hey, are you kidding? I am the fire, I am the Agni. No, still. Then the Agni wanted to burn that. My God, to his utter surprise, he gave his whole force to burn that single straw. He couldn't do anything. Straw was as it is. Humbled by that, the fire went back. Then the Vayu, the god of the wind, he told, can I go? Indra told, why not go? Then he came, the same question, who are you? I am the Vayu. I am the wind. And what do you do? Oh, well, I can take anything uprooted. The huge trees that you see, I can uproot it through my power and can take it. The same straw he kept before him and said, that same Yaksha, can you please try over here and with your wind and take it out, throw it somewhere else? The wind blew with all its force, but with no result. They became humble and came back. Then the king of gods, the Indra himself went, and to his utter surprise and insult, the Yaksha disappeared, as if he never wanted to ask any question to him. Then he saw a beautiful mother form, the Uma Haimavati. That was the first time the power of God took the mother form. Uma Haimavati is glittering like the gold. Then they understood it is the power of that God, the Brahman, that helped them to be successful against the Asuras in that war. So through the stories, it teaches that our all success, at the back of it, it is only God, God's power, that through us it is. So that is the reason when the God says, you do it. Swami Vivekananda also said again and again, the God has chosen me. I am grateful. Any task has been given to you, any responsibility has been given to you, any job that you are going to do, think that the God has given it to you and be grateful to Him. Anyone could do it, but God has chosen me and I am thankful. Here, the same God is telling Arjuna, Tasmat Tvamuttishta Yasho Labhasya. And be successful in this world. Therefore, you go and fight. Jitva Shatrun Bhungsham Rajyam Samriddham. Enjoy this whole world after conquering. Mayai vaite nihata purvameva. I have already killed these people. Everything is already done. Only nimitta matram bhava sabhyasachin. The wonderful teaching. Everything has already been done. And you become only nimitta. Just you are going and thinking that I am doing it. I have already did it. The cause of our success. If we analyze, you will find that mostly, surprisingly, something happened and we became successful. Someone came, someone helped, someone did something favorable, and all these successes, it started coming. When we forget that it may be God who is helping us, and we think that I have done it. So friends, from now onwards, we should be very, very careful. No show of ego. I am successful because at my back there is God's grace is there. Mayavaite nihata purvameva. We should go on remembering it. It has already been done by God. I am only, outwardly, I am doing it. It says in this way, Dronancha bhishmancha jayadrathamcha karnam tathanyan api yodha viran maya hatam stam jahima batishta yuddhasya jetasi rane sapatnan. In when he is telling, I have already the Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, me, because I have done it, so you need not to be worried about it. Be not distressed with fear. Fight and you will conquer your enemies in battle. When Swami Vivekananda was coming to Chicago, he was supposed to give the talk, and he was not knowing where he is going, what will be the responsibility and all this. Then Vivekananda, he was thinking what to do. He wrote to Ma Sharadamani Devi, and she gave the blessings. It is all your success and everything that is there for you. So it has already been done. God has already did it. The Vivekananda came, Vini, Vidi, Visi, as they always call. He came, he saw, and he conquered. Vini, Vidi, Visi. He came, and some other people all around, they were also with him. Of course, I came and somebody gave me a letter. With that letter, I went. If that was happened, the people would have said, oh, because of the letter of that particular professor, or this man or that man, Vivekananda got the success. No, he lost that paper that the professor gave him, Professor John Wright. And then he was thinking what to do and what not to do. Who is going to help me? Without credential, I am not allowed to enter. Forget about as a speaker. What will happen to me? Then a lady, she noticed, and she came, she took her and took him to her house, and slowly, whole history started beginning over there. Before Vivekananda, also some people, they addressed that same gathering as the brothers and sisters. But why? When Vivekananda said the same word, sisters and brothers, just because he used the word sister first, people became so mad and they stood up and clapped, 7,000 people? No. This is where the God's miracle. Mayaivete nihata purvameva. It has already been done. So you just go and do it outwardly. Again and again it has been demonstrated. At the time of Arjuna, we saw that. At the time of Vivekananda, we are observing that. In our own life, in many times. But still we don't understand it because our ego. So religious teaching means what? Religious teaching means to understand that God is with me all the time. and his benign face or his destructive form, all the time he is with me. Only thing that I should do to surrender to him. You are my father, you are my mother. Without you, I don't have anyone in this world. I become humble, completely free from ego, all success, all joy. If I want the wealth of this world, everything the God will give to me. But spiritual aspirant, the seekers of the truth, they should seek the liberation. Because all this that we see, the success or failure has no meaning. These are all temporary. Friends, Sanjaya now, we will conclude with this. The Sanjaya Uvacha Etat Sutva Bachanam Keshavasya Kritanjali Bepamana Kiriti Namaskritva Bhuya Ibaha Krishnam Sagad Gadam Bhita Bhita Pranamya. The Sanjay is telling, after this, having heard that speech of Keshava, is the Krishna is again the Keshi, that was a demon he killed, so he became Keshava. The crowned Arjuna with joined palm, trembling, prostrating himself again and again and addressing Krishna in a choked voice, bowing down, overwhelmed with fear. Now Arjuna Uvacha, that we will study in our next class. The Arjuna's condition, he is a devotee. So it says the Bepamana. Bepamana means he is trembling. Kampamana. Bepamana, the word means he is trembling. Kiriti, Kiriti means Arjuna. Another name of the Arjuna. So Arjuna is trembling and he is completely, it says that Ashta Satika Bikara. When one has realized that God, what happens? 8 different types of action comes in the body, in the physical body. By seeing those, one can understand that he has realized God. He is a realized soul. That is in the scripture, it is there. So out of those, the 2 are very clear in the Arjuna. So Arjuna, he is trembling, and it says that Stamba, he becomes just like a stone. He can't move, he can't behave anything. So Nichestata, no chesta, no action is there in his form. Then Sveda, then perspiring. Then the hair also, haripulation, that is also there, romancha. His voice that breaks, swarabhanga. Beputha, there's a body is trembling. Vaibharna, Vaibharna is the color also changes. He starts crying, and also his outward consciousness goes away. That is called pralaya. These are the 8, the Ashta Shatika form. The Swatika, 8 Swatika form of the body by which the other could understand that he has realized God. In the Arjuna here we find that Arjuna is also, his voice, he is trembling, and at the same time his voice has broken, and Arjuna is talking to God. Etat sutva bachanam keshavasya. Hearing these words, the Arjuna, what he did, Kritanjali Vepamana Kiriti. Kiriti is another name of Arjuna. He was with folded hands, he is telling Namaskritva Bhuva Ibaha Krishnam. He was offering his the salutation again and again to the Krishna, Sagad Gadam, because his voice broke. He could not speak properly. When we are too much emotional, that also breaks our voice. Bhita bhita pranamma. He was afraid. So his body was trembling, the perspiring, all the satika, the symbols, it was there. So one can understand Arjuna at that moment realized the truth. And then he was telling. Next class we will read what Arjuna was telling, asking to God.
There are three questions. First question from Sumita Bhattacharya. Pranam Maharaj, please explain the difference between Prakriti and Purusha and how to apply these two in our daily life. Sumita.
It's two words, particularly Shankar philosophy. They have used these two the words. In the Bhagavad Gita, the same thing the Krishna said, the Kshetra and Kshetragya. The Shankar philosophy used these two words as a Prakriti and Purusha. The Kshetra means the field. Prakriti is the creation. Purusha, that is the creator. That is the creator, the God, the Brahman. He is creating out of his own thought, will. And when he has created this, it's called Prakriti, and sometimes it is also known as Maya. The Vedantin, they will say Maya. So that is the difference.
The next question is from Ujjwal Das. Maharaj, I seek your blessing. If you could please clarify if Hinduism tends to believe in the indefiniteness, formlessness, and the oneness of the God, why there are so many gods as we get to know?
Oh yes, it's a good question. So Hinduism, they believe in only in one consciousness, the God without form. If you notice in the worship, you will find that they have an image, particularly Durga Puja is coming. Please go and observe and you will find that Durga Murti is there, the image is there and very nicely decorated. But the worship that the particular the priest, he is worshipping not that murti, not that image, but just one pitcher full of water. On that there will be another coconut, the green coconut. Why water full of that particular vessel full of water? Because water, we can say, the symbol of the formlessness. Water has no form. Wherever you keep, it takes that form. So that Hindus, they always go into that. But why that image then? He is worshipping the formless God. And if you notice that he will keep a flower on his head and then he will meditate. They take the flower and bring down to his nostril and he will breathe out and keep that flower on that particular in the most of the time it is the coconut in India, they put on that. Why? It's called prana pratishtha. The God was within me, the formless, but I want to worship that formless God in this form. So it is putting that. I want to worship, that's all. So now someone wants to worship God in the Durga form, so he image the Durga. Someone Ganesha, the Ganesha. Someone in Ramachandra, Krishna, and that's why anyone in any form, there's no problem. Because the same God, all pervading, it can take in any form. God is all powerful. So if we ask question, how can God enter into that form? Is it possible? All pervading God, how it is coming into that small form, that image, the picture? The answer is God is all powerful. All powerful means he can do anything.
The next question is from Srinivas. He is asking how does work with desire for the fruits of action deepen into the feeling that God alone is the doer and I am the instrument? How can this transformation take place?
Oh, the beautiful question. This is called sadhana, you know. Sadhana means this is all the practices, spiritual practices. That's called sadhana. Now, it is not in one day or one moment it will be done. No, it is not possible. So, you know that Srinivas, this is we have to practice every time. And suppose I have done something, suppose I am very successful, and then some people, they have organized a function to felicitate me, and if you go over there, if you go over there because the society wants to felicitate you, acknowledge you because of your success, and you say, no, 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 I am humble, I cannot take it, God has done it. No, it is not like that. You should not be impractical. There you are humble, you are accepting, you are acknowledging, thanking the organizers, but at the same time, back home, you go to your shrine and tell the God, God, they are thinking that I have done it, but I know I couldn't do it. You gave me all this knowledge and all the technique at the right time, my great friends. So all this help that you, so that I could become successful. God, with your blessings, I am successful. This way, if we practice every time, success is there. Outwardly, we are showing, yes, I have done it. But at the same time, within myself, I know it is not possible for me alone. It's the God's blessing. I try and I fervently pray. These are the two things go together. I try my best with my physical and psychological, mental, intellectual, all forces together to get the success. And at the same time, I pray to God, please be with me. And if the God and the devotee goes together, there is success. Friends, if you are continuing, the last verse, 700 verse of the Bhagavad Gita speaks in this way. Thank you. It's over? So now let us offer the pranam. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Dibbhai Stabai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Nabidu Surasuragana Devaya Tasmai Namah. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat